Excuse me. Sorry. Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and pray silence for that theme tune. I always just type in something random like fun or bright into the YouTube royalty-free audio stuff. And yeah, we've gone with that one and it's very popular. Gets me right up for it when we're doing the preview show, because here we go with our championship preview and predictions. For round 4, we are going to be looking through each and every one of the 12 games occurring this weekend. We have 1 tonight. We've got an early kickoff and then 10 in the 3 p.m. slot on Saturday to end our first 3-game week of the season. And then we'll have 4 games gone. So we can have a bit more of a sensible look at the league table and points per games and things like that. We're starting to become a bit clearer of runners and riders and potentials for teams. Anyway, we'll get into all the action, and this show is about your predictions and your input on how you see these games going. More often than not, especially if you support these teams we're talking about, you'll know more about team news, injuries, form, tactics, things of that nature. So do let us know in the comments. Your input here is vital. Somebody else's input around here who is vital is Betfair and Football 365. We are very, very excited to have them sponsoring this preview show all the way through the season, all 46 of them. God damn it. So we're going to show you a few little prices from Betfair if you want to get involved. Have a little bit of fun, but when the fun stops, begambleaware.org. Of course, thank you again to Betfair and Football 365. We've already got our weekend articles. They're already up. www.football365.com. You can see my tactical preview of tonight's game between Bristol City and Swansea. And you can see our big weekend preview. Having a little focus on Bournemouth and Bournemouth and Blackpool. Michael O'Neill, QPR, and Darnell Furlong, who was getting tongues wagging with his long throw-ins, wasn't he, in the middle of the week. Right, we'll say hello to... Actually, we won't say hello to everyone in the chat. Let's do something really quickly, just so we know who we've got represented. When I count to 3, just stick your team. Let me know who's... Well, it doesn't matter if it's not Championship, it's a Premier League team or a League One team, fine. Just want to know who we've got represented. So on 3, stick your team in the chat. 1, 2, 3, go. And we'll see who we've got represented. We want as many fans from as many different clubs as possible watching these shows. By the way, the brilliant Donovan brothers will be back sponsoring us as a fan sponsor as well this season. They're just figuring out what to say in the in the little slide thing. So, right, let's see who we've got. Oh, wow, this is fantastic. Look at this. I'm going to try and click through all of these, and we can see who we've got represented. Cov, Bristol City, Swans, Fleetwood, Millwall, Luton, Watford, Cov, Swans, Blackburn, Bournemouth, Fulham, Norwich, Luton, West Brom, Bristol City, Millwall, Birmingham, Stoke, Luton, Bournemouth, West Brom, Burnley, West Brom, Furlong Albion, yeah. Luton, Derby, Birmingham. We have got so many teams represented here. Any Ipswich fans in other than me? Oh, dear. The once mighty, hey? There we go. Nearly all the way down. There we go. Furlong Albion. This is definitely the new name. QPR, Villa, Cardiff, Wednesday. The jumper wins the internet. Yeah, Ron Swanson's making his return today. Brilliant stuff. We are very, very well represented among most clubs in the Championship. Do we see any Blackpools in there? Any Peterboroughs? Any Hulls? Tell your friends. Get them involved in the preview show for sure. Right. Should we do this? You can see the running order down the bottom there. Go over to the Football 365 score centre there, and we'll look at our first game. Blackburn versus West Bromwich Albion. So, comments And predictions in, please. Blackburn, draw, or West Brom in this one. Our friends over at Betfair, even money on the West Brom victory. Blackburn, 11-4. Remember, these are two of our 7-point teams. Essentially, in the league table at the moment, we went from 10 teams on 4 points to 6 teams on 7 points. So this is two of our top 6. Let me know what you think. Blackburn, draw, or West Brom. Blackburn flying high. I know we've got Ben, who's a good Blackburn fan in the chat. I don't want to rain on their parade, but maybe lucky to get away with a point at Millwall, and then came up against Forest, couple of set plays late on in there, but they're winning games, much to many people's surprise. New low knee, you guys were telling me, it's been hard to keep up with everything at the moment there in at Blackburn. So look, they're in form, Blackburn, if we can, I think we can say sides are in or out of form now after 4 games, can't we? Someone who's definitely in form is West Brom Darnell Furlong FC for sure, who murdered Sheffield United. That was partly due to Sheffield United's kind of fragile state at the moment. But honest to God, it looks at the moment like West Brom are going to score from a set play every game this season. In fact, would you be surprised if the total across those games was around 40? It's going to be 30 to 40 set play goals for West Brom. They just look absolutely lethal. Callum Robinson is the top scorer in the division with 3 goals. And would you back against them in this one? They are favourites. Let's see what you guys are saying. And yes, the dude with the towel has definitely become a minor celebrity in here, haven't they? Rovers have started well. I think West Brom got that extra gear. Jake's got West Brom. You're very welcome, Ben. There was your shout out. Blackburn win, says Animation. West Brom, says Damien. West Brom, says John. There you go. There's a Blackburn fan saying West Brom. Draw, West Brom. West Brom, West Brom, West Brom, West Brom, West Brom, West Brom. Look, guys, I'm going to stop there. So you guys are on West Brom on this one. Look, we don't even have to worry about West Brom playing well. We know they're going to score in all their games, don't we? It seems ridiculous, doesn't it? So look, I'm going to go with the chat and I'm going to stay on the West Brom train on this one. And we'll go for another goal from a set play at some point. Probably 2-1, 3-1. West Brom, Dean Garner, Grant and Robinson. They look strong, don't they? With Big Val hossing that ball into the box all game. You love to see it. Away win for West Brom we will go for. Thank you for all your predictions in that one. Apologies if it did not get read out. Kate makes a good point. It's not just the opponents' 2 own goals in the last 2 games against West Brom. People so struggling with those long throws. Connor Townsend's fine as well from the other side. Anyway, I'm labouring the point. Let's go on. Fulham versus Hull, guys. In the chat, please. Any comments on the game and your prediction? Fulham, draw, or Hull? Fulham, draw, or Hull? Hull started like a house on fire, winning 4-1, didn't they? Preston. They have lost both games since then, haven't they? And I think there was a League Cup defeat as well. Fulham look good, don't they? Turned up at Millwall, which is, insert cliche here, but never an easy place to go. Mitrovic is 2 on now. Is Wilson back? Was that one match supposed to straight red? No, be up for 3 games, won't he? So still no Wilson. But what about Fabio Carvalho, everybody? You guys were waxing lyrical over him. They are hot favourites. Look at that. 9-4 on with Betfair. So lovely old price for a Hull win in this one. If you think they can do it, can you see Hull limiting Fulham to even 1 goal? I can see Fulham scoring a couple in this one. So it really does feel like a tricky one for Fulham. Marcus says, Hull always play well against top teams, but we will get special. I remember Jared Bowen destroying Fulham when they got promoted last, but yeah, might be a struggle. But even without Wilson, I reckon we'll boss it. I do remember better in Hull 8-9, losing right at the death. There you go. Let's look at some predictions here. Lots of you are on Fulham in this game. Joe Wilson back on 28th. Is that Joe from the Fulhamish show? Is that the same one? So many names. Jack, Fulham could be an absolute battering. Can see West Brom, Fulham, and maybe Bournemouth pulling away from everyone in the next few weeks. Lewis is the banker. Hull couldn't lay a glove on us. Cut them open easily. Good win for Darby. Yeah, Hull. Yeah, it does look slightly worrying. 110% on foot. Yeah, okay. Right, we get your point on this one. So look, you guys are all in, not just me, on both West Brom and Fulham again this week. Have we got another Watford and Norwich situation here? 2 Year 1 parachute teams hitting 90 points at the same time. Home. We'll go for a home win in this one to Fulham, which would move them on to 10 points. It would be a third straight defeat for Hull City. As well, let's move on. QPR versus Barnsley. And I wrote in my Football 365 piece, is this the passing of the torch from last season's People's Champions in Barnsley to this season's People's Champions in QPR? Lots of gums being shook about QPR, mine included, but they have started the season well with 7 points. So let us please have your predictions in for this one. It's the early kickoff tomorrow night. So before the Super Stream, it's QPR versus Barnsley. There are your odds from Betfair. 21 to 20 favourites there. Not quite even money, so it's still a nice price for QPR. Barnsley 27 to 10. Outsiders in this one. Luton did a number on Barnsley in the week, didn't they? Get your predictions in, by the way. Sorry, QPR draw Barnsley. QPR draw Barnsley in this one. QPR just, Luton just transitioned quickly and played a different way and caught Barnsley out in midweek. So I heard from Luton and Barnsley fans on that one. Marcus Schopp is still essentially a new manager. Belgian strikers, the two of them, don't have their visas sorted out yet. Carlton Morris injured. So there are a lot of arguments that Barnsley are in a tricky moment as things stand. QPR are in a very good moment. I don't know about you. When I see a team go down to 10 men on 50 minutes with the scores level away at a team managed by Neil Warnock, I assume they will be losing that game. But QPR took the lead twice, got the win. Any news on Charlie Austin, who we thought was going to get retrospectively banned? I don't know whether that happened or not at all, although those sort of things do tend to happen on Friday, don't they? So whether that's happened or not. But look, Rob Dickey looks great, doesn't he? Chris Willock looks great. Lyndon Dykes is sticking the goals in as well. Ilias Chair is Ilias Chair. They look very good, QPR, and I wouldn't be surprised if they won again. But let's have a look and see what you guys are saying here. Hasn't been banned yet. So yet being the operative word there, Charlie. Yeah, Louis, still nothing on Austin. Wallace, Dykes, Moses. Moses Odebajo will, of course, be suspended. Yeah, most of you are on Rangers here. Ronnie is on Barnsley there as well. But look at that. Rangers. Goodness me. Brian's on a draw there. QPR looks so good. A few on the draw, but in the main, you are on QPR. And look, I know we're going with favourites today, but I think QPR are going to score twice in this game, and I think they're going to win, which would be another 10-pointer as well. So I'm with you guys. Here it comes. Home. Let's go for a home win for QPR. And we're going to get accused of being predictable. I've just seen what the next game is as well. And I think we might end up going with the favourite on this one. But we'll see what you say in the chat. Remember, we can play our joker at any time. But we got to talk about Bournemouth versus Blackpool. Get your predictions in. And I think I'd probably echo most people's sentiments by saying probably Bournemouth are doing slightly better than people thought they would, and Blackpool are doing slightly worse than people thought they would. I don't know if you agree with me or disagree with me on that, but that's how I feel about it. To get your predictions in, please. Bournemouth, draw, or Blackpool. Bournemouth, draw, or Blackpool in the chat, please. Our friends at Betfair will give you a measly 8-13. They're 13-8 on for Bournemouth. 9-2, a huge price for a Blackpool win, excuse me. Remember, it's the Championship. Anyone can get a red card after 4 minutes, can't they? Who's the referee? Does it tell me? Referee Martin. There you go. Anything could happen. Referee Martin having fun up at Borough the other night. Look, Bournemouth, Danjuma, we should mention. I mean, he hasn't kicked the ball, has he? But out he goes. So maybe some money in there. But look, Jaden Anthony looks good. David Brooks was 2 yellows, wasn't it? Yeah. So David Brooks won't be suspended anymore, will he? Dom Solanke's got off the mark in terms of goals. And all the Bournemouth fans are telling me there's a few players out, but the youngsters, Zamura, Ibsen Rossi, Kilkenny, Jaden Anthony especially, look really, really good. And looks like Parker has learned a bit from his time at Fulham. And I do like the look of Bournemouth at the moment. Blackpool aren't scoring enough goals, just the 1 goal so far. A couple of home defeats to 0 as well. And Yates and John Jules haven't quite got themselves going and scoring yet. Let's see what you guys say in here. There you go. 3-2 Blackpool. Jerry Yates hat-trick. Blackpool 1-0 in a proper Championship game. Oh, we should mention, Gary Cahill in at Bournemouth as well. And look, I tweeted, this will get a binary reaction. Always is when it's a big name comes in at the end of their career. Look, I know he's not John Terry. Let's be fair. Who is John Terry in terms of centre-halves over the last 30 years? But John Terry coming down to Villa, he had a cigar on in the Championship, didn't he? So if Cahill's anywhere the level we think he is, and look at his medals, could be a good one. So Brooks will be returning, of course. Right, let's get some predictions in here. Cherries. Luke says Stanislas and Pearson. You see the quality of player that was not lining up, particularly in that first game when we saw them all in a row up in the director's box there. Mr. E, I think there'll be quite a few weeks where it's what it is, isn't it? They're probably going to win, 20 to 30 games, all of them this season. So, stack them all up and it's 80 to 120, isn't it? So, Bournemouth doing better than I expected. Me too. 0-0. There you go. David's got a Blackpool there. Bournemouth, home. Bournemouth. Surprising draw, says Lewis. Bournemouth, Vinny. Bournemouth. Yeah, I think Mr. E has helped me justify it. So I'm putting up loads of these. There we go. So you can get your predictions written up there. Plenty of you behind Bournemouth. Unless Blackpool start scoring, this is going to be a home win, I think, isn't it? So let's go with, we're going with all the favourites so far, but I think this fixture list has pushed us that way with Fulham, Bournemouth and QPR all at home against, a couple of teams that haven't started yet. Home win for Bournemouth. Right, let's move on. Before we do, quick little plug. Please hit like, whichever platform you're watching on. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter. Just hit like, drive more people to the stream. And unbelievable scenes. Is that a milestone? 19,000 subscribers we've gone over. Now, we really want to get to that 20, but we will, like Alan Shearer, we will celebrate 19,000. So thank you, each and every one of you. And God damn it, if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now if you're watching on YouTube. Right, where next, guys? Stoke versus Forest. Now, this is prime Stoke mugging me off territory, isn't it? Because I'm now turning back around and thinking, Stoke are actually good. They're going to do all right. So do they lose this weekend now? Because I cannot predict Stoke right to save my life this past 3 years. But hey, maybe that's more about me. Why don't you get your predictions in on this one. I need to hear Stoke, draw, or Forest in this one. Stoke, draw, or Forest. Forest have 0 points and 3 defeats thus far. They lost at home to Blackburn in midweek. They've lost at home to Bournemouth, and they lost away to Coventry. Get your predictions in, guys. Stoke, draw, or Forest in this one. Our friends at Betfair have Stoke odds on to win this one. Chris Hughton and Forest is value 7-2. They do have 0 points, though, so value schmalue. Referee Langford, you can still find him. So Stoke, good win down at Swansea. Swansea do look like they're there for the taking at the moment, don't they? Whilst they adjust to the ultra possession football of Russ Martin. But you forget, because Stoke have finished 16, 15, 14, you forget, I mean, midfield is Klukas, Powell, and Allen. The back three is Wilmot, Ørstegård, and Suter. They're integrating Sam Sturridge in, and their best player, Tyrese Campbell, is still to come back as well. So it's not like they've never had good players in the Championship. It's just getting those good players to play well together for more than 5-10 games at a time has been the issue for Stoke. They look good at the moment. They've started well, 7 points from 3. And Forest, well, we said finally someone's organising them and not 10 players out in August, 10 players in all of that chaos, managerial sacking. And they're exactly where they were this time last year under Lamouchi, where they lost the first 5 on the trot or something. And just cursed at the moment, Forest. But has Hughton still got it? He normally pulls these situations around, doesn't he? But I don't know. Let's see what you guys are saying. Have Stoke signed Sawyers? God, I'm so busy with Enid and Shaley. These things are missing me. So there you go. Sawyers as well. Another bit of extra quality there. Miss Harry Suter at Fleet. Oh, whilst we're talking to Napper's mum, we should say Napper's did me a solid and had to move aside last night. We're going to be talking to him, I think, tomorrow morning. Those people asking where the Dearly Departed show with Napper's is, we should be talking to him tomorrow morning. Okay? Right, what are we saying? Damien, Stoke were brilliant on Tuesday. Forest have serious problems. Dalgano, Powell and Vrancic, doubt. How good is Powell arriving on those crosses? Brilliant. Sawyers might be thrown straight in. Lots of Sawyers talk here. Ash, Hughton has a few games left, in my opinion, if Forest lose to Stoke. And God forbid, Darby. Yes, that's coming up. Early kickoff next Saturday, Ash, I think. Stoke to win, he says. Stoke, if Samba's not playing well, is he, for Forest? Bless him. Stoke, great start. 7 points out of 9. So I'll go Forest. There you go. That's how it normally works for me. Draw. Well, Hal makes a fair point there. Don't forget, this is Michael O'Neill versus Chris Hughton. So draw is never, ever too far out of the conversation. Over 2-1 on that as well, Hal. So, we've only ever beaten Stoke when we're doing well, says Jack. Stoke. Look, on the basis and nothing other than me trying to even up my predictions, I will not go with Stoke the favourites in this one. I'm going to go with, it was Hal in the chat. So this isn't my Joker, is it? I don't have to play the Joker to call a draw between Michael O'Neill and Chris Hughton, do I? So I've still got my Joker in my pocket. But let's just say that all of these games can't go with favourites. I haven't had my draw yet. Both managers love a defensive showing a clean sheet. So even though Stoke are pretty obvious favourites in this one, I will go against it because I haven't so far. Draw! And we'll go for a draw in that one. Remember, I always get Stoke wrong anyway, don't I? For goodness sake. I may as well just stop trying and saying the opposite of what I think. Right. Luton Town v Birmingham. Get your predictions in, please. Luton, draw, or Birmingham. Luton, draw, or Birmingham. Another 1-0 win for Luton away from home, carrying on where they left off last season. And it was a home defeat for Birmingham in midweek, but that was against Bournemouth, who've been quite impressive thus far, haven't they? Luton, draw, or Birmingham in this one. In terms of the styles, Luton have had trouble at centre-half, haven't they? They went with a 3 the other night. I think Lockyer returned and made a difference. But I can see Birmingham getting some joy on crosses in this one. Chong returned for Birmingham, which is good news. He was the best player in the opening day win. I think what you would say about this matchup is that knowing what we know about both teams, I think if Luton play well, I think Luton probably win. But Birmingham are one of those teams that are quite good at negating teams playing well, aren't they? They're a tricky one to play against. This is a hard one to call, I think. What are our friends at Betfair saying? Luton, 11-10 are the favourites, the home side there. Birmingham value 5-2. Birmingham obviously have not won since opening day. 4 points on the board for them. To be fair to Birmingham, on paper, Sheffield United, Stoke and Bournemouth has been a difficult start, hasn't it? Luton start, Peterborough, West Brom, so not easy, and Barnsley. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here. I'm struggling with this one. Struggling a buggling. Let's see. God, you've got loads of predictions in here. Brilliant stuff. Draw. Luton, Birmingham. Draw. Luton, Luton. Luton, Luton. Luton. Pronounce my T's. My apologies. Suffolk boy coming out there. Draw. Luton, Luton, Luton. Draw. Luton, draw. God, no one's on Birmingham here. Interesting. There you go. He's got Birmingham badge in there. Yeah. Birmingham. There you go. Vinny's gone Birmingham there. Luton, 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 draw. Let's try and get all these up. We got a few for Blues. They all do seem to be from Birmingham fans, though, which you might be right, but can't score. Lecco and Hogan, yeah. Lecco starting in the last game. Blues hard to beat, especially away. Draw, but I could see it sneaking it. Going to really annoy these Birmingham fans. Mr. Busby refereeing Luton Birmingham. He's a new one on the fun list, isn't he? There we go. I can't call this one. I really can't. I'm not going to play my joker, which would be a Birmingham win. I think I'm going to sit on the draw. I think it's a scoring draw in this one. Let's lock it in. Draw. I don't see Birmingham winning, but I'll go for a draw in that one. We will move on to Coventry versus Reading. Get your predictions in, please. Coventry, draw, or Reading. Coventry, draw, or Reading. Coventry have won 2 from 3, so they are on the magical 2 points per game so far, just tucked in behind those leading teams there on 7. Good start for Cov. Reading, less so, but they do have a win on the board. So they've hit a point per game after getting that win against Preston. Although, what value a win against Preston? Well, 3 points, of course. But in terms of judging how good teams are, we're revising that whole win against Preston, aren't we? Do we have to revise the Reading win against Preston? I wonder. Coventry are favourites, 21-20, in this one, with Reading 14-5. Outsiders, predictions in, please. Coventry, draw, or Reading. Coventry won at Blackpool the other night. Gyökeres is scoring. O'Hare seems to be creating lots of chances, as he always does. Frankly, it looks like they've filled the... we were worried a bit about the Østegård hole. Clark Salter played in the last game. Harmer looks like Sheaf will he start to set up. So Coventry looking all right, aren't they? Reading, well, Aziza started the season well. He scored a couple, the youngster coming in. Swift is a numbers machine at the moment. What is Swift's output so far? 2 goals, 2 assists, I think, in the first 3 games. So 4 goal contributions already. Sorry, I've got one annoying bit of hair there. There we go. Sorted. But they do look like you can beat them at the moment, Reading. It almost looks like a team that last season did really well and fell away. And this looks like a lesser version of that team, which does seem to intimate a decline down from, where were they, 7th last season. Who did Reading sign yesterday? Junior Hoylett. Yeah, it's an interesting one. We'll see how he goes. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat on this one. Try and get as many of your predictions up as we can. Jake, should be a Coventry win based on form, but as a Cov fan, I know it's not going to be like that. There we go. Hedge your bets. It's the best way. Right, Cov. Loads on Coventry here. Draw, Cov. Am I still yet to back Coventry? You might have just persuaded me now, Matt. Draw, Cov. Draw, Cov. Draw, Cov. 3-2. A couple of people going 3-2 there. There you go. There's one for Reading there. If we see Hoylett. What else are we saying? Draw, Cov, draw. Let's see if we can get most of these down here. There we go. Stop O'Hare, stop Cov. Some people will be starting to try that tactic soon as well. Yeah, I suspect we will see Hoylett, Ash, won't we? Okay, there we go. Right. Well, I think I kind of want to just do this to prove Matt wrong now. If I haven't backed Coventry yet this season. And they have won 2 in 3, haven't they? Zhao is still out, isn't he? Maite's going to be out for ages. Go on then. Go on. Home. Let's back Coventry then. So any accusations of bias can be firmly left at the door. So, yeah, incoming Reading away win in that one. Right, talk to me. Cardiff versus Millwall. Cardiff versus Millwall. That'd be a, yeah, I think those two sets of supporters have probably had some handy meetups at times, haven't they? Cardiff, draw or Millwall? Cardiff, draw or Millwall, please, guys. Millwall soundly beaten, weren't they, by Fulham? Well, that only ended 2-1 in the end, didn't it? But 2 down in 8 minutes, weren't they? Millwall. So slow start. And we always say this about Rowett, don't we? That if you kind of draw happy, don't lose a couple of games because a winless run is never too far away. Cardiff, every point's a prisoner, Mick. 96th minute equaliser. And I think their last 3 or 4, well, I think 3 out of their last 4 goals have come from Marlon Pack long throws or second phases therein of Marlon Pack long throws. So it's the season of the long throw, as Dara McAntony, the Peterborough owner, tweeted the other day. Betfair aren't incredibly sure on this one. They've got it tight there. Look, 5-4 Cardiff, 5-2 Millwall. Dare I suggest Mick McCarthy versus Gary Rowett falls into the same bracket as Chris Hughton versus Michael O'Neill? I don't know. What do you guys say in the chat here? Cardiff versus Millwall. I wonder if we'll see Kiefer Moore start for Cardiff. Don't think he started a game yet this season after scoring a whole ton of goals last season for the Bluebirds. Right, what are you guys saying here? I love the look of that. Draw. Last 7 meetings have ended in draws as well. Oh, you used the reverse psychology on me, did you, Matt? There we go. I fell for it. Draw. Route use of bench. Not great. Interesting. Mahoney could affect the game. You know, he doesn't like an early sub, does he? But these pragmatic managers never do. Draw, Cardiff, draw. Millwall, draw. Yeah. Okay. Do I need to just stop here? Going to be a stinker of a game, still 0-0. Look, I think most of the win predictions here, although Gethin seems to have written Cardiff about 3 times there, doesn't he? I think I might land on the draw here. Oh, God, there's loads of them in it. Go on, I'll try and get a few more of them up. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Let's go with the stat then. That the last 7 between these two have been draws. It's Rowett versus McCarthy. Draw. We'll go for another draw. Would you believe I've only got one away win so far? I've only got West Brom winning at Blackburn. I'm worrying now. See if we can throw some away wins in here before the end. Right, Bristol City versus Swansea. Get predictions in, please. Bristol City, draw, or Swansea. This is the TV game tonight, which we will be watching along from 7:30, all being well and calm and quiet over here. So come and join us at 7:30 for Bristol City versus Swansea. The Football 365 Twitter retweeted a quote from my article, my preview in this. Have Bristol City turned the corner? They beat Reading, a rare win. They haven't won many over the last months, let alone this season. But is that the turning point now? I wonder. Our friends at Betfair, it's tight, isn't it? 5-4, Bristol City, 12-5 for Swansea. How quick's my maths on that? 12-5-10. Yeah, so Bristol City favourites on that one. Swansea, I said, are they there for the taking on the basis that for these first 5-10 games, they're probably going to lose a few as they get used to the ultra-high possession style. I also wondered in my article whether Joel Pirro is actually going to start for Swansea now. They're bedding him in, but he's basically played 180 minutes worth of football and scored 2 goals in Carabao Cup and in League, and they've needed a striker for the longest time. So we're starting to see the Russ Martin team develop with Mattheson and Downs and probably Pirro coming in. Latabodier has been moved to right wing back now, so he's working with what he's got, Russ Martin. You just wonder whether, I keep saying this term, they're there for the taking at the moment, and Bristol City can go back to back with their victories here. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here. We'll start with Jake there. Swans, draw. Bristol City, Swans, City, Swans, City, draw. City, draw. City, fairly mixed here. Let's try and get all your predictions in here. I have a funny feeling that Bristol City are going to win this. So I'm just trying to get all of your predictions up here. Nice to see people using my lingo as well. Draw, lengthen it out if you can. There we go. Sorry if you put effort into your comments and I'm clicking past. We can't literally be here. The support's so great. We'd literally be here for about 3 hours if we did. I'm going to repeat I do think Swansea are there for the taking at the moment. I don't think it's going to be like that all season, but I do think they're going to go back to back here, Bristol City. I think it's going to be a home win. And this is mainly based on this bedding in period for Swansea, which I think is going to last 8, 10, 12 games possibly, where you'll see high possession numbers, but not high chances created and high chances conceded, which we know how that goes. That's not viable. You need to flip that round as soon as you can. So, home. Let's go for a home win there for Bristol City. We will be watching that tonight. Come and join us at 7:30. And we got to talk about Derby versus Borough. Get your predictions in, please. Derby, draw, or Borough? Derby, draw, or Borough? First win of the season for Wayne Rooney and Derby at Hull in midweek. Let's be honest, they've looked all right in all of their games, Derby, so far. We were all kind of thinking absolute cataclysmic chaos and 0 points or minus points with an FFP deduction. By the way, the accounts are due in. They got an extension, didn't they? Next Tuesday. So we will be hearing from the EFL soon enough. I assume if they have to be submitted by next Tuesday, that it'll then be another 4 weeks or something before they've been looked at. But that still hangs over Derby. Some highly paid, clever accountants are probably thumbing over them as we speak. But like I said, on the pitch, not terrible. Should have got something at Peterborough, shouldn't they? 2 goals in stoppage time to lose that one. Draw at home to Huddersfield on the opening day, and a good win at Hull with Sam Baldock getting the goal. Someone mentioned as well, when does Bielik get back? If they can hang in there until he gets back, he'd make any team better. Won't he? Look at that. Away team is favourite, though. Borough 8-5. Derby 19-10 might be good value, but we've got to factor in Borough. Ikpeazu is scoring. Crooks is scoring. Borough, I hope they're not going to be doing what they did last season, where they would get up to 7th or 6th or 5th or whatever, and then lose a couple of games, drop back down. And it seemed perpetually like they'd hint at being a playoff team and then drop down, and then in the end, dropping off into that second quartile with Neil Warnock, who was perplexed, raging, fuming, furious, whichever word you want to use to describe Warnock. This is a hard one for me to call, actually. So let's see what you guys are saying. Where do we start here? There we go. Okay, we'll start with Evil Spirit. There we go. Borough, Derby, draw. Borough, Derby, Borough. Okay. Derby, Borough. Fairly mixed, but I feel like I'm seeing more Boroughs. I'll read that one out if we can get the most out of Ravel Morrison. Many have tried, Ash. Many have tried. Many have failed, haven't they? Read Sam Allardyce's book about that. Borough draw, Borough. Shock, Derby win. There we go. We'll keep these scrolling down. Yeah, reality will set in for Derby sooner or later. That is a scenario, isn't it? Look, I know anything can happen, but I know exactly what Harry is saying there. Oh dear, sorry. I was just going to read your one, Lewis, there. Clear way of playing under Rooney now. We'll cause the Borough problems, the 3 off Baldock. Let's keep these moving here. There we go. And yes, we are looking forward to seeing Isaiah Jones, who's a big favourite on the channel. Yes, Buchanan started the other night. This is the championship, isn't it? Derby versus Borough. Oh, God. So really, it should be a Borough away win, shouldn't it? But it's the championship. And I don't feel like I'm going to be playing my joker any other time. Right, I'm going to play my joker on this one. And I'm going against the favourites, Borough. Remember, you can't argue with me if I play my joker because it's my joker. Home. We're going for a Derby home win, but that is the joker. So I am immune, like Heath Ledger. Or, Jack Nicholson. I think I prefer the cartoon Joker than the serious one. But there we go. Let's go for Derby in that one, and we'll throw the Joker in, and Warnock will win because he does. But there we go. Right, 2 to go. Preston are not very good, and they are playing Peterborough. Get your thoughts in on this one. 2 to go now, guys. Thank you for sticking with me. We're nearly up the hour. Preston versus Peterborough. Get your predictions in, please. Preston, draw or Peterborough? Preston, draw or Peterborough? Preston do feel like they've been a slightly declining force for a couple of seasons. God, compared to that team that finished up in 7th place in the first season for Alex Neil. But McAvoy, inexperienced, bad start, 3 straight defeats thus far. A bit of a chasing by Hull on the opening day. Lost to an own goal. Lost to Huddersfield in midweek. Huddersfield didn't have any shots on target. It was only the own goal that beat them, for goodness sakes. Peterborough know how to put the ball in the back of the net, and we're very much enjoying Harrison Burrows, who's another of the good youngsters coming through this season in the Championship. He looks fabulous. Johnson Clark-Harris hasn't scored yet as well, so hopefully that's stocking up from a Peterborough point of view. And I think they could get something from this one. I think they'll think they can definitely get on the score sheet in this one. There's still quality in that Preston team. Dan Johnson, Barkhuizen, Brown. They're decent players left over, but it does feel like it's been a downward trend. I wonder if they went back in for Ben Davis. I bet they asked. I bet they did. He's gone off to Sheffield United, hasn't he? Let's see what you guys are saying for this one. It is Preston versus Peterborough. What are we saying? Shrewd move from Benjamin. Smooth. Right, here we go. Posh, draw, Posh. Posh. Little voices whispering. But you mustn't listen to the little voice, Cole. Hey, Posh, Preston, Posh, Preston, Posh, draw, Preston first win, goals galore, draw, Posh. Let's keep scrolling down here. Preston in true championship fashion. Sammy Smodic back for Posh. There you go, as if they weren't doing well, attacking enough. I'm going to go with the chat then. On the basis of Preston sucking a little bit at the moment. Also, the fact I don't have too many away wins on my coupon here. Always try and even it out as you go down. And the fact that Peterborough have been putting the ball in the back of the net. Let's go for away. We're going to go for an away win for Peterborough United at Preston, which would be doomsday stuff then at Preston. That'd be 4 straight defeats and also losses to 2 of the promoted teams. The games will get harder for Preston and more worrying for Frankie McAvoy. Right. Everybody strap yourself in. We've got to talk about Sheffield United, which has been an emotional subject so far this season because they've stunk it out as well, haven't they? Poor old Blades fans. Sheffield United versus Huddersfield. Get your predictions in. And this really has the air of we think Sheffield United are a good squad with a good manager underperforming. But if they lose at home to Huddersfield, everyone's going to go, oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. Is this really happening here now? Sheffield United draw or Huddersfield? Sheffield United draw or Huddersfield? As I mentioned, Huddersfield have picked up some points this season. They've picked up 4 of them. They drew against Darby on opening day, where we thought Darby were going to be in complete chaos. And again, I will reiterate, they beat Preston. Yes, they did. They beat Preston, with an own goal and had no shots on target. So it's valuing these wins that is kind of difficult at the moment. Sheffield United, had a bit of a horror show, didn't they, at West Brom? And we've seen in the other 2 games, no goals. The 1-0 home defeat against Birmingham, which is kind of probably the least worrying of all the games, isn't it? Because when I sat and watched Sheffield United losing at home to Birmingham, that made sense to me because it was like, okay, Jukanovic, first game, not happening yet. Birmingham all ready to go, all hyped up from survival last season. The way they played was going to work fine. When I saw and I didn't watch it because everyone told me it was boring, the highlights of the game against Swansea, you're kind of like, oh, everyone's just banging the ball about in front of each other and not much purpose really in either side getting to win that game. And then, the one against West Brom, the 4-0 the other night, we did it as a watch-along. That just got awkward after a while, didn't it? That was like, this side is looking very, very fragile. And the West Brom long throws and the press and all of that good stuff. Yeah, it's hard, but they made an absolute dog's dinner of it, didn't it, Blades? And bear in mind, I have no axe to grind. This is a Blades side that we loved in 18-19 that, well, no, it's not that side. It's clearly not that side, but do you know what I mean? So it does me no pleasure in saying how slowly they've started, but they've looked pretty poor. And this one is circled. Blades fans going, win this game. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat on Blades versus Huddersfield. What do we got here? Blades. James says, am I allowed to pretend we have a chance here because we're above the middle? Of course you are, James. 100%. Draw. Interesting. Sooner or later, Blades will click. I think it'll be this game. Could be. Yeah. Lots of people on the draw in this one. If it is 0-0, like Ewan and Mark are predicting there, that would be 4 games without scoring for a year 1 parachute team, which is just a horrible start. Look, I've said this till I'm blue in the face this week when I've been asked about Ipswich. 2 things can be true. You can have, they need time to bed in, and you can have, these results are terrible. That's what's happened at my team, Ipswich, where it's like, it needs time, it needs time. But the results are awful so far, and that's the same at Sheffield United. So they're in exactly the same quandary, being a hot favourite, but stinking it out so far. Right, let's keep moving down here. Get your predictions in here. First time since March 2020, and when I go, I win. Yes, there you go, Hal. Some confidence there. Huddersfield score draw. Huddersfield Blades. Huddersfield Blades. They've got to get their first goal. He's not saying their first win there, James, for sure. Right. Let's quickly slide down all of these other comments. Look, I am going to go for the bleeding obvious, and I'm going to agree with Alex. I'm not saying they're going to click, but I think they'll win. I think they just have enough quality to just bully their way and win this game. So, home. I will go for a first Sheffield United win of the season. Woof. Right. We are 52 minutes in. We've done all our predictions. So let's do some Q&A. If anyone has any questions or any topics, get them in the chat. I will just run through all of my predictions. I went for West Brom to win at Blackburn. I went for Fulham to win at home to Hull. QPR to win at home to Barnsley. Bournemouth to win at home to Blackpool. I went for Stoke and Forest and Luton and Birmingham to both draw. Coventry to beat Reading. Cardiff and Millwall to draw. Bristol City to beat Swansea tonight. I played my joker, Darby to beat Middlesbrough. Peterborough to win at Preston. And Sheffield United to beat Huddersfield. Those are my predictions for this round. Thank you, everybody, for your help. Let's do some Q&A. Mr. E, was Sheffield United's recent success based on pattern of play? Yes, amongst other things. And it was a moment, wasn't it, at Sheffield United? You sometimes get that at a club where, you know, you get the right manager, the right players, the right system, and woof, everything kind of clicks together and away you go. But, yeah, hugely brilliant pattern of play under Wilder in 18-19. A phobia off the mark for Fulham. Will he now kick on? I don't know, Alex. They've got to create chances for him, haven't they? And with a pragmatic manager like Rowett, sometimes the emphasis is on not conceding chances rather than making it. If you have a striker like a phobia, you need to make chances for him. So what are you going to do? Thoughts on the Puma third kits? No badge. Yeah, I saw this tweet of this guy trying to kiss his badge. I don't know. I can see the purists and the traditionalists and understand not liking that. But hey, things change, and maybe this is the way forward. Who's better on long throws? Callas, Mark Roberts, or Furlong? Furlong at the moment, just for the sheer pace he whips them in. Loopers, the other one, aren't they? And yet, look at the numbers. Look at how many chances Furlong is creating for them. Do you think the 3 go up could be Fulham, West Brom, and Stoke? No, I don't think those 3 will go up together. But go and stick some money on over at Betfair. BeGambleAware.org. I'm supposed to say every time I mention that, but there we go. 2 streams tomorrow. Yes, that is the plan. So yeah, just quickly on the channel, we had Hodgie on for Behind Enemy Lines last night. Go and check me trying to wind him up. I did get a bit of a rise out of him this time. We're going to have Nappers on tomorrow morning doing League One Dearly Departed. I think we'll be on 10 till 11. So if you're a Wednesday fan, Rotherham, Charlton, God, who are our Dearly Departed League One teams? Wickham. I can't remember who the other one is. Someone will tell me in the chat who I'm forgetting there. Rotherham, Wickham, Sheffield Wednesday, Charlton, Wigan. There we go. Those are our 5. Where do I think Bournemouth will finish? In the top 5, Harry. Thoughts on Sawyers to Stoke? Who's that? Pele and Ricardo Fuller. Is that in the same picture there? Sensational. Is it? Thoughts on Sawyers to Stoke. Seen a lot of West Brom saying he's been poor for them, but he was brilliant at Brentford. I didn't think Sawyers was poor for West Brom. I think when they got in the Premier League, he got a little bit found out. Maybe, and this might be completely unfair on Romain Sawyers. Maybe he's a Championship player and not a Premier League player. The one thing that is very noticeable about him, is he needs time on the ball. And Brentford gave that to him in spades, didn't they? So, yeah, we will see. At Stoke, he should get time on the ball because they're not going to play 100 miles an hour quick on transition, are they? I like him. And West Brom don't get promoted without Sawyers coming in. Okay, Ajayi and Pereira and whoever. But, yeah, I like the player. Good luck to him. What else are we saying? How much time do you reckon Houghton has left? If he loses another 3 in a row and he's lost 6 on the trot, I think he's in big trouble. But Zach, as ever, your key dates are the international breaks. And the key one really is October 9th and 10th. So have a look there. That is Graveyard Central, isn't it? Damien, any chance of you doing a vlog for the South Wales Derby? I will try and start getting to games around that time. So it's a possibility. I just can't leave the house at the moment because I'm kind of looking after Shaylee and baby and then trying to do this, etc., etc. There we go. What are we saying in the chat? Tuned into part of that show yesterday. Not what I was expecting. Oh, well. There we go. Variety is the spice of life. Ewan, based on the first 3 games of the season, who has impressed you most who isn't a year 1 parachute team? Oh, God. Well, Bournemouth, but they're a year 2 parachute team. QPR and Stoke, really. So, yeah, a year 2 parachute team, a former parachute team. So, yeah, we'll go with QPR as well. What's the problem at Preston? I think general long-term decline over a couple of seasons. I don't think they went all in on the recruitment. And we've seen, I think Bristol City did the same thing and it came to a halt when I think Bristol City and Preston for a while recruited really, really well and then didn't go the final mile where you really, really have to go all in. MK is not who Ipswich want to become an important. You've used 2 question marks there, Jamie, and I don't think there's a question. So, yeah, try and reword that. Those Puma shirts are a disgrace, if you ask me, says Adrian. There we go. All opinions are welcome here. What do we win this international break on first week of September? Is going to be a prediction show. Right, I think I get what you're saying, Luke. I don't know. We'll see. We'll do some kind of roundup. There'll be a show. Don't you worry about that. Do you think they should bring in female referees? If they make the right decisions, I don't care whether they're aliens. I don't care whether they're horses, females, men, whoever. So, yeah, don't care, Adam, as long as they do a good job. Martin, Lansbury started. Well, could be a bargain signing. Yeah, only Luton could pull that off, couldn't they? Getting a tune out of Lansbury. Have you earmarked the first game for Enid yet? I don't know if I'll get that one past Shaylee getting Enid in a football stadium. So give it a few years, Alex, on that one. How long before a slow start becomes a crisis, says Bingley Blade. It depends who the club is. If it's Sheffield United and they're on year 1 parachutes and they were in the Premier League last season, about 5 games, basically. It is what it is so far. There you go. Thank you for reminding me. Wigan are the other team. Sorry, Wigan. At what point does Jokanovic get questioned? Us and Darby as the next 2 could be concerned if they don't get 6 points. It's okay to question Jokanovic now. It's not unreasonable to question a manager who has one of the best squads and the most broadcast money and isn't winning any games. It's just a matter of balance in the questioning. Do I think he should be immediately thrown under a bus and fired? No. But of course, James, you can question him. Of course you can. You really, really can. But it's it needs balance, and there's ways of questioning him. Isn't there? First manager to get sacked. It looks like McAvoy at the moment, doesn't it? But hey, they win a couple of games. I'll change my mind for sure. Lewis, is there any chance Darby can have a good season this year? Yes. This is what needs to happen for Darby to have a good season. Not get a spate of bad injuries. And by that, I mean, either one very important player for a long time or a load of players together at the same time. They need to take over to be done. They need to not get a points deduction, and they need to get Bielik on the pitch at some point. And they can. But just remember, chaos relegates teams, doesn't it? So if there's chaos with injuries, with a points deduction, with another ridiculous charlatan trying to take them over or whatever, then they'll go down. But no, they can keep it all on the down low and all moving forward. They will be fine. Hamza, how many assists for Furlong this season? I think we need to look, because he won't get actual assists unless literally one of his players heads it in straight from the throw. The own goals don't count. But in terms of how many goals will actually come directly from them, not necessarily Furlong on his own, but Furlong, Townsend, and Furlong and Mowat from the corners. I'm genuinely thinking over 20, and I think that's conservative at the moment. Because if you class so far, one of the goals against Bournemouth was, 2 of the goals against Luton were, and weren't 3 of the goals against... They got 6 in 3 games so far. So it's projecting 92. So I think 20 is my conservative predictions. Garner back to Forest. Is that gone through, Chris? That is a good signing. Yeah, I like Garner a lot. Have Swansea hit their peak with 4th? Yes, I think they have. I don't think they'll be finishing as high as 4th. Probably 4. It'd be a hell of a job if they did it in the next 2 or 3 seasons. So yeah, I think that is a peak. ETA on my daughter's signing for Ipswich. We just got to get ETA on the sleeping for more than 2 hours at a time overnight and exploding nappies and stuff. But there we go. Female alien horse ref. Bring them on. Got to be better than referee Martin and referee Langford and referee Stroud. Sorry to all of them, of course. We know they have a hard job. Honest opinion on Russell Martin taking the job. Do you think he can guide us to playoffs? I like the idea of the appointment. I admire Russ Martin for backing himself and having a go in what looks like it might be quite a difficult situation. I can understand why MK Dons fans will be a bit annoyed at him for going at that time. But sometimes you have to back yourself, don't you? Do I think he can guide you to playoffs? I don't, not this season. But let's see how it goes. We're expecting at some point there will be a click. And if it works, woof, it'll go through. There we go. Jamie's had another go here. MK is not who Ipswich want to be coming to. Another defeat coming, I think. Too much, too quick. Ipswich. I think, is there a question there? He's gone for a 3rd question mark there, but I'm still not sure there's a question in there. We got any English experts in there? If you want me to comment on whether Ipswich is going to beat MK, I'm not confident, of course. But you know the ridiculous thing of supporting Ipswich, well, you may not, is that when you think they're going to mess it up, they pull out a win. And when you think they're going to win, yeah, no good. League One full fixtures. There you go. We do a Diddy Park live stream. Good idea. Do you think Russ Martin will last at Swansea? Do you know what I do, actually, Ollie? I think it'd be there. I don't know how long the contract is. I guess 2 years, 3 years. So yeah, I think he'll be good. Ben, do you work for the press at Watford? No, I do not. But if you do get accredited, I've been in there a few times, but I don't work for them as such. Do you think fans back in grounds could speed up how quickly the first manager to go goes? That's a really good question. Yes, I do. Because probably Dean Holden, Jason Tyndall, would they have got as long? Certainly Paul Lambert wouldn't have got as long at Ipswich, for sure. What else are we saying? Swansea are sending Whittaker on loan. Do you agree that's a poor decision? So what are the other options? Pirro. It might be a poor decision, that actually, given the lack of strikers there. For sure. Yeah, we'll see. God, you come to Ipswich if you want on loan, although we've got about 500 strikers now. Haven't we? Right. I think we're just about there, aren't we? Thank you, everybody, for your help with the predictions, Q&A, etc., etc. We will stop there. Stop right there. Down. Name that tune. Oh, God, there's a couple more. There's some good questions in there. Let's do a couple more. Go on. Thoughts on Blackpool's start? Been tough adjusting. Yeah, I think they've done slightly worse than I thought they would, James. And I'm surprised they've been so ineffective so far in front of goal. Do you think Scott Parker will stay for more than 3 seasons? Can he get the Cherries promoted? Is Cahill a good signing? I think Cahill will turn out to be a good signing, but you'd have to show me how much they're paying him each week for me to tell you exactly how good a signing. More than 3 seasons. If you'd said 2, I would have said yes. More than 3, I'm not sure, but do any managers, hey? Vicky Candidate should be given time, or could they panic? I've got a sneaking suspicion they will panic if the results are really bad. But then again, is that panicking? So it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Right. I will stop there. No more questions now because I'm getting too tempted. In fact, let's put it on banners. There we go. Right. Thank you, everybody. Please, before you go, hit like. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, everybody, for watching. That was Championship preview and predictions for round 4. We will be back tonight, 7:30, Bristol City versus Swansea. Looking forward to that one. Nappers will be on at 10 tomorrow morning, talking League One, and I'll be live for the Saturday Super Stream. 2:30 will start on Saturday. And then it will be Dearly Departed Premier League. We'll pre-record on Sunday. I think we can do it on Sunday, unless anyone wants to see that as a live show. We normally do those as pre-records. Right, thank you, everybody, for watching. I'll put all your bye-byes and your cheers and all that up in the advert at the end. And I will bid you all farewell and say a big over and out. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.